Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 359. We here review episodes 23 to 25 of Magiranger, and Magiranger's first of two movies ever released, two movies that were released in a series. The movie itself I'm discussing is the third and last movie that was released in the 2000s that I'd love to talk about. I will be discussing the last one after I finish Magiranger. So, in the case of these three episodes, this kind of starts off the legendary Powers arc. 23 is kind of the start of this, and it doesn't wrap up for quite a while. It's kind of, in a way, the start of a fresh, new story arc. So first off, we have a two-parter where, get this. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this too. In the Ninja episode, where you have Mina trying to use her as Kanuchi tried to seduce, Kai and Makito. They're like, nope, we're immune to that because basically we have our own women. Because Kai has got Yuki, and Makito has got Emi, who actually appeared in the previous episode in her final ever appearance in the whole series. And her appearance in 21 was completely oh, here she is. It was nothing more than a cameo. And then never seen again. And 22 was the last time she was mentioned, because she's not mentioned in all the rest of these episodes. Nope, not mentioned at all. It's either that they forgot about the character. I have no idea what the heck happened there. So we focus on Tabusa, where they're doing training, and he has to be excused from class, basically a session, because he has a promise to keep. And okay, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, there's a big present on the desk in their headquarters, and it turns out it's a present for a student of his who is practicing to become a boxer. And we see the student first on the episode where he's running away from a Hades beast. Yes, why the heck Hades beast chase after him? Well, apparently he's in a nightmare, he can't escape race. And then there he is, in the kid's bedroom, which is revealed actually to be inside of a freaking gym. Does this kid live in a gym? Well, his father runs a gym. So, and then you see three holes in him later on. And, Tamusha basically really wants to find out exactly what the heck happened. He takes a smell, where did his smell come from? And prior to leave, there's always mention about this reverse spell. Yes, this is basically a time travel spell, which apparently is forbidden magic. And Magichan's nope, you cannot use this spell because there's a curse involving it. They mention the saint who came up with the spell, and he kind of seals himself away inside of a mountain. That's in his own mirror world. So, we find out that the Hell Beast here is an ex-boyfriend of Veronica, which apparently they broke up under very terrible circumstances. Oh, by the way, in the very next episode, he basically forces an embrace on her, and then forces her to split into her two selves. Yeah, I have no idea. She's like, what are you doing? Yeah, and the thing is, I think he's still infatuated with her. Yes, she's a very beautiful woman, but yeah, she says no, and it's almost basically the way this scene is presented, it's almost like he was going to rape her or something. And he's a villain. And so is she. Yeah. I'm glad. Here's the thing. From a minor perspective, it could be implied that what he's doing is sexually assaulting her. But it's magic, kind of forces her, take the two girls on a date because it's just the same. It's pretty much the same person. Why they broke up, never explained. So his plan is to steal all these souls, and Tamusha basically figures out how he does it. So he uses the reverse spell to time travel about 5 hours before the present day, presumably at night. Now, he didn't alter anything. He just basically went back in time, saw the past, saw how this particular Hell Beast, basically, Hades Beast, proceeded to take it out. Now it turns out he has a pet who is a normal Hades beast. Now this spider monster is the final ever one ever seen in the whole series, because after this it's basically all Hades beast for like the rest of the series. You're like, really? Yep. Like, there's no like other one per se. Well, in the main series itself, for the Hades Beastman, after the one we see here, which is Barbagia the Incubus, there's like, well, after like 25, there's like 1, 2, 3, basically about 4 left. Yes, seriously, there are 4 left, and there's 4 Hades Beastmen of Hell, which we'll discuss this later. And then, like, after the one they have there for... Yeah, and... Well, it's going to be quite interesting to basically discuss the rest of this one when we get to it. So... Yeah, also in this two-parter, this also is Mimi meeting Warzone for the first time. Because, like, oh, you're the rumored Warzone I'm hearing all about. Yeah, so it turns out he wants to basically put the souls in a weapon. Which way it works is that he sticks his long fingers, into his victim's necks, and then pulls out the soul and gives it to the spider monster. To create some kind of fireworks or something with human souls. And to wish it as looks like as punishment for going back in time, despite the fact he didn't really do anything in the past. He didn't alter anything. He didn't move anything. He pretty much stood in what he basically did move back one step, because he was seeing himself in the past walk by. Luckily, his past self didn't see him because he's outside of time. He's rewinding time. You see all of this, but he basically is staying out of the way. He's not touching anything. He sees what happens. And of course, then he gets some shocked about the episode. And eventually, Shine basically opens his shirt like, oh crap, he's got a vortex in his gut. And so it's like a time shift. Then he basically puts a seal on it for a moment until he finds a way to reverse it. So what he does, he goes to that particular heavenly saint, well, holy saint, Kreno, I think his name is, where he asks him about the staff of forgiveness. And so he proceeds to go on a test to climb up the mountain to retrieve it. And meanwhile, though Tuisha basically follows him, everyone else deals with basically the creepy guy. So he grabs the staff, he basically tries to grab the staff, but then he basically grabs it and Warzone grabs it because, oh, it's powered by darkness. And he destroys the heavenly saint who was seen in the mountain. And eventually, thanks to a brief battle with him, which also he learns a new spell, he beats Warzor, doesn't destroy him, just kind of defeats him in combat, gets the staff, and he uses it to kind of stir the vortex in Tabusha's gut, and then he's cured. Okay. Also, this two-parter, he gives basically the 5 Magirangers these 5 rings associated with his family. Now, they do explain, I think in the next episode about this, about the 5 legendary wizards, and he thinks these 5 siblings are those particular wizards. You're like, really? Yes, that's what he thinks. But we're only about halfway through this. We're not exactly there just yet. So then after the guy is defeated, the very next episode starts up a saga of episodes where, from what I read, this is basically it's a similar type of storyline that we had during the events of Kakaranger, where each of the Rangers go on sort of a trial, in a way, of every episode, where it kind of, the best way to describe it is that it's a way to unlock certain power, basically some for it. So 25, Kai's courage is stolen, by a thief. Yeah, he steals other things. And also, this episode reveals about this special doll that Yuka made, which, from what I read, does come back in the franchise. Yes, this doll does come back because Yuka is in love with, of course, well, the Red Wizard. And some girls who bullied her took the doll. Later on, he basically mustered the courage, basically demanded it back. And he's like, "No, we don't want it anyways. Here, you can keep it." And he loses the string that was attached to it. He does. I'm not sure why he just picked up the string too, because the yarn that basically is like through like the loophole on top of it. He could have retrieved that too. Nope, he just left it there. He just took the thing. And because God Comic gets courage back, he just picks up the freaking monster and then throws him at Mammy. Yes, I thought this was kind of funny. And then they destroy his pet, who's been they destroy stuff of stealing stuff. By the way, the new spell they unlock, it's a spell to reverse sorcery. Yeah, and he got back his courage that was taken. Well, he got infinite courage. And they do destroy a monster. This little fun thing happens in the episode where Kai is about to be taken, looks like his life's been taken. Instead, they take the ticket for the train Megazord that belongs to Magic Shine. So they have Veronica pilot the damn thing, but only in her true Supergirl form. I'm like, this is interesting. I did not expect this thing to be stolen. I mean, only made his debut back in episode 21. Yes, that's basically where this thing where it first showed up. The magic train. Yes, only just a few episodes, and it's already been stolen. You're like, really? Oh yeah, really. I mean, in my opinion, it would have been really cool if you see Veronica, this beautiful woman, basically piloting this Megazord. It would have been nice, but well, we said with the girls and Gaston. Yes, the thief's name is Gaston. You're thinking, wait a minute, sounds like a character from Beauty and the Beast. I would not be surprised if it was based on it. Yeah, and this Gaston, he actually does not appear in the episode. He does not appear in the episode. He doesn't appear in Mystic Force. Why the heck he doesn't, I have no idea. So then, like, the very next thing that happens, according to the chronological stuff, is the show's first movie. And that being Magiranger's movie, The Bride of Infershia. So, the movie begins with Magic King losing a fight to another monster in the movie. Yeah, so, and then we see that, oh, the villain of the movie, who is complete movie original villain, King of the Berserkers, Golem the Barn. Yeah, this is his only ever appearance in the entire series. And he is another monster never adapted for, well, Mystic Force. Why? Quite simple, really. They never have moved, but they do. There's actually a character who does debut in this movie, who does pop up in the series. I'll get to her. Yeah, this movie also has debut of a character by the name of Horn Sacred Horse Ugalon, who was a horse, basically was Bengal's horse, his favorite horse, mind you, and it's used by Bengal's son Kai. Oh, and I'm gonna see it again. Don't worry about this. So basically, they tell me this early on. Of course, they go to visit. Of course, they can't go to Magic School because it's illegal for humans to go to Magic School. But yet somehow, Hikaru leaves behind a ticket to how Madora Boy to grow into a giant freaking tree, taken straight to Macatopia. And they meet their patron saint to become the Magiranger form. I thought this was really cool. And you get to the top. Oh, look, it's Zampellis. Oh, look, it's Rin. First time we've seen her since like episode 18. And they go inside and they meet Great Heavenly Saint Miguel, who is played by Witch Bedora, Queen Hedra, Moroku Sango, in her final ever appearance in tokusatsu history. The reason? She passed away a year later. She passed away in 2006 of pancreatic cancer. Yeah. You could say this movie was her penultimate appearance ever in the entire franchise. Could you say possibly with this, I have covered all of the characters that she's featured, like all appearances? Well, no. Not really. Well, I'm not done just yet. Excuse me. But this technically is the last character in Sentai. Of course, she does pop up in Kamen Rider. You're thinking, how did she pop up in Kamen Rider? She was in Kamen Rider Stronger as Dr. Kate. Yep, which I have seen that. And of course, she does have Metal Heroes. A couple times. She was in Gavin. She was in Shriven. And of course, I will see her again in my next Metal Heroes series, 7. Yeah. It's going to be nice, basically, to see her in a couple other series. Which we'll get into, so don't worry about that. Yeah, her whole thing is that, oh, you can't take it. But she apparently knew that this would happen because of, well, their father, which he knew, and apparently the fact that their mother had visited Magic before to learn magic. So Kai takes the unicorn and basically rides to Infershia while Yuki is basically about to become a bride. Like, they're about to kiss, but look at the famous trope of like, oh, it's a wedding, so let's basically interrupt the wedding before the kiss. And Kai indirectly telling her that he is the Red Wizard. How? By pulling her cheeks. And then she looks right through his helmet and probably sees the fact it is Kai. Yep. And this kind of indirectly confirms that she finds out that the Kai is the Red Wizard. So the Berserker King goes freaking nuts the fact he lost his bride. So he gets her out of there, and they have this like combined form, and then they have Fry the Horse. They combine somebody would have with Brinken with Fire Kaiser, which this is a sort of white version of it. And thanks to all the combined, they finally destroyed this thing. And the movie ends basically where Kai and Yuki are just, well, after Kai loses his second match, begin the movie in the flashback, he shows you actually won it. Here he lost. And it shows that Moroku's, the great saint, basically gives courage and magic to the entire surface world. Why the heck she does this for is never really explained. So, and of course, she does anything to Kai, and they chase it around, and of course, basically, that's the movie ends. The movie itself was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this live with action, though the whole trope of basically having where the focus character, where his love interest is supposed to get married to somebody she does not love, and him interrupting the wedding. That's standard, even in the U.S. That's basically standard romance stuff. But yeah, the movie was fun. I thought it was really enjoyable. I love the visuals look absolutely amazing. It holds up really well at the movie that came out. How long ago did this movie come out? So, the movie was released on September 3rd, 2005, which, for my family, it is like the day after my sister turned 13. Yep. How was I? I was 17 this year, in 2005. Yeah, I was 17. So, there's that. But that's pretty much it, particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do hit that snake button. Next up, we're going to go through a couple comic corners, and then we'll go straight back to Magiranger. Okay? Next view. Bye.